In the accident and emergency department, the team never know what's going to happen next. Xand, be careful. You could cause an injury.
Exactly. Just like our first patient.
Over in accident and emergency, 10-year-old Isabel is with her mum and dad. What's happened?
I've hurt my wrist/arm.
Well, how did you do that?
The sun was shining and Isabel was playing in her garden on the trampoline.
And who's that over there?
Ah, that's Sven the guinea pig.
Birthmarks happening.
And Benji the bunny.
Whoa, dude, cool moves.
Isabel was having a whale of a time.
She has a whale too? Yippee!
No, Xand, she was having loads of fun until she lost her footing and landed on her arm.
Ouch!
Meet Mr. Asad Qureshi.
And your qualifications?
BSc, MBBS, MRCS, MSc, and soon to be PhD.
What a smarty pants. You're in safe hands, Isabel.
Do they feel okay or do they feel tingly?
Them ones feel tingly.
So these two?
Yeah.
But these ones feel normal?
Yeah.
Isabel's struggling to move her third and little fingers. Plus, there's a wound on her arm. Time to get into X-ray and see what's going on.
That's perfect.
Whoa! That's quite a break. Let's see a close-up.
It's a double break.
This fracture is significantly displaced, which is why we need to proceed with an operation to fix it.
One of the broken bones also pushed through Isabel's skin, which leaves her open to infection.
We need to give you some antibiotics and we need to do an operation.
So we're just going to put this on, okay?
Isabel's op is booked for first thing in the morning, so she needs a temporary cast to make her more comfortable.
And she'll stay overnight in hospital.
Night-night, operation out.
Night-night.
And now to our lab.
It's time for some big body experiments. Some of them gory,
This is not for the squeamish.
some extreme.
It's freezing!
So are you ready?
Just don't try anything you see here at home. Today, we're looking inside your head.
Your brain controls pretty much everything going on in your body, so damaging it can be serious. Now, unluckily, it's very fragile, but luckily, our brains have some super protection.
That's right, Chris. I am Maximus Brainius Protectoris, leader of the 9th Legion, conqueror of Rome, protector of brains.
Xand, I was thinking more along the lines of this.
Oh. Took me ages to get all this on.
Now, this is a real human skull. Your brain is so important that your skull has a special safety system installed in it.
That's right, brain gladiators.
No, Xand, it is a clear, colourless liquid called cerebrospinal fluid. It acts as a cushion to protect your brain, and there's not much of it, about the same amount as the water in this jar. And to show you how it works, we're going to need to break some eggs. Imagine this jar is your skull, and I'm putting these eggs in to represent your delicate brain.
What would happen to the brain in this skull without any cerebrospinal fluid?
Xand, shake the skull. Well, as you can see, your brain would be seriously damaged. But what happens if the jar is full of water, just like the cerebrospinal fluid inside your skull?
The eggs remain intact, and so does your brain, because the cerebrospinal fluid fills the gaps between it and your skull.
Do you concede defeat, Xand?
The cerebrospinal fluid has vanquished me.
And as well as cerebrospinal fluid, your brain has another amazing piece of super protection. We're talking about the cranium.
The dome of the skull that protects the brain.
And we're going to show you how.
I think it's time I retired from being a gladiator.
Yes, Xand, white coats on. As you can see here, the average thickness of this part containing the brain is only about ½ a centimetre. And it has to be that thin because it has to be light. Having a heavy head would be really difficult. I mean, imagine if your head was as heavy as, say, a watermelon. Well, what is it like having a watermelon on your head?
It's very, very heavy. I mean, I'm getting a really sore neck.
So that is why your skull needs to be thin. And yet, despite being so thin, it is incredibly strong, as we're about to show you. Xand, will you go and get some skulls, please?
To the cupboard of everything. Look, I found a skull here, Chris, but it's got lots of different lids, and some of them are pretty weird.
Yep. I want to show you why our skull's shape gives it strength. And to do that, we need to compare it to some other shaped skulls. We've got a model skull with a traditional top, one that's flat, and one that's spiky. And to see which skull is the strongest, we need some kind of smashing device.
Oh, well, we could always use my drop rig. It's right there. I call him Smashy.
Nice one, Xand. That looks perfect.
We're going to drop a set weight onto the top of each skull, starting from a height of 15 centimetres, to see if it smashes.
Let's see which shape fares best. Ready, Xand? Release the smasher.
Smashy. Ah! If you'd gone to all the trouble to grow spikes on your head, you'd be pretty disappointed with that result.
Flathead, it's your turn.
Xand, release the smasher.
It's called Smashy. Right.
Well, that was disappointing.
We need more force.
Let's double the smashy height, Chris.
Ah!
Well, we got Flathead that time.
Now let's try the traditional design.
Traditional for a reason, Xand.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Seems to be okay so far.
Let's raise the bar. This is where Flathead smashed.
This might hurt. Wow!
We're now at 40 centimetres. We've pushed this further than ever before.
Release Smashy!
The human skull is hardcore.
Surely it has to give at some point. Ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Oh, dear.
So we've shown you that your extremely important, very special brain is protected in not one, but two ways.
Firstly, by a layer of cerebrospinal fluid providing a safety cushion.
And secondly, by your skull. Despite being only 6.5 millimetres thick, your skull is the perfect brain protector, thanks to its shape.
Chris, I've come to say goodbye.
Goodbye? I thought you'd retired from gladiatorial combat after your humiliating defeat by the cerebrospinal fluid.
Well, yes, I had retired, and then I realised there was another body part I could protect with my gladiatorial skills. People's hearts. I will travel throughout the land wherever people cry out. Off I go. You'll never see me again. Da-da-da-da.
The heart's protected by the rib cage.
In hospital, it's not just the doctors and nurses who help to get you fixed.
There are lots of other heroes working behind the scenes.
Ah, yes.
But what will happen when we have a go at their amazing jobs?
I'm gonna make your eardrums burst.
This is Operation Takeover.
Today, we're meeting 3 heroes from the maintenance team, starting with engineer Adam.
The maintenance team keep everything in working order here at Alderhay. Adam, what does that involve?
Everything from ventilation to anything in between, toilets, lights.
What's on the menu today?
The next job is a code brown.
Hang on a minute. What's a code brown?
Well, you're about to find out.
I'm so jealous. Chris is getting to do a code brown, whatever that is. He always gets all the best jobs.
This is a code brown.
Ooh, it's poo!
Oh, no.
It's not the most glamorous job, but it's got to be done, and you've got to keep the hospital operational.
Hold on a second. That looks like tea bags. Have you made up this code brown specially for me?
Well, we might have done, or someone's been eating tea bags.
Huh, nothing like a nice cup of tea, Chris. Ugh.
OK, so show me how you unblock the toilet.
Put the plunger in, cover the hole.
Get to it, Chris.
You're giving it some, aren't you?
Stop leaving it all to Adam.
You're going to...
Flush the test, and there you go.
Brilliant job. Very impressed.
You big wimp. Leaving the bowels of the building, there are plenty of jobs to do on the outside too, and one of them involves a secret weapon. Meet Jay, our second maintenance hero, and his Harris Hawk, Leo.
What is Leo's job at this hospital?
Basically, a deterrent to the pigeons. Queer's job is to stop the pigeons from living on site.
And why don't we want pigeons living on site?
We don't want them to be pooing into the filtration systems for the hospital.
Right.
It's a sterile environment and we want to keep it clean.
So you don't want poo in your air conditioning system?
That would definitely be a code brown, Xand.
Jay releases Leo to fly around the hospital. As a bird of prey, he scares off the pigeons and other birds so they disappear sharpish.
OK, here he comes. Wow.
Now it's my turn, and I'm a little nervous.
I actually feel genuinely quite terrified. He's going to land on my hand, we hope.
Well done, Xand.
He obviously likes you.
This is completely magical. I think you've got the best job in the world, Jay. Good job, Leo.
Now it's time for the challenge with our third maintenance hero, Ian. Ian, tell us what our challenge is.
For today's takeover challenge, we're going to head to the roof.
The roof at Alder Hay is a 24-metre-high eco-roof, full of wild flowers, and just like other gardens, this one needs to be weeded.
It's a very special roof and it needs maintaining in a very special way, and that's via abseil.
Yikes!
To make it a fair challenge, Ian has planted 5 dead flowers for us to collect, whilst lowering ourselves down on special safety ropes. He who collects the most flowers wins.
It's head-to-head extreme gardening.
OK, let's get ready.
We need the right gear and the right skills.
Ian and his team do this all the time, but we have to learn the ropes to keep us safe on the steep and highly dangerous slopes of the hospital roof.
Old Dr. Xand is just going to have to rise to the occasion, and I think I'm going to come out of this smelling of roses.
Xand, Bruce, this way. Not a good start.
I'm off, and let me tell you, I know a thing or two about flowers.
Look at that, there's some red campion. You don't see that very often. There's a couple of ribwort plantain. Of course, that's a perennial herb found all over the UK. Oh, no! I've missed one! No! Got to pay more attention.
Right, now it's my turn.
Ready?
My plan is to focus and get the job done.
Lock it off.
This is easy. That's my first one in the bag.
Next flower.
And my second is not far behind. What about you, Xand?
I've got my first one! There's no stopping me now.
2 down. And hello, flower number 3.
Hang on, Xand. I'm right behind you. Focus, focus. Ha-ha! I'm storming ahead now. One more to find.
Some knapweed, a few cornflowers. Oh, I almost missed that one.
I really need Chris to miss his final flower.
Too late, I've done it.
I think I can still win. Surely Ian will be impressed with my flower knowledge.
Let's see, shall we?
Ian, how did we do?
Who's got to be the man that had his mind on the job and collected all 5 flowers? Chris.
Yes! It shows the importance, Xand, of staying focused while you're working in a hazardous environment. Now, we've seen how important the work is of Ian and the maintenance team in keeping the building looking great and working well.
But you know what, Chris? Even you didn't do a perfect job. I think work like this is definitely best left to the experts. Thanks very much, Ian. We had a brilliant day.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
We're on call with the UK Emergency Services, and today Xand might get a few surprises.
Ooh, on call with me is paramedic Jan Van.
This is a rapid response vehicle, and it's on standby 24/7 to respond to whatever medical emergency calls come in.
Oh, sorry, Jan. Bit embarrassing.
A new case is just in.
So we've had a 999 call to see a male with a problem with his head. We know he's over 16, and we don't have any other details than that at the moment. So this could be a huge range of things, and we need to get there as quickly as possible.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Chris?
Yeah, my hair is just so greasy. It's just like someone's dipped my head in a bucket of lard.
Dr. Chris, you only called 999 in a real emergency.
Sorry, Jan.
It's not on. That's what's known as a Jan Van telling off. But since we're here, let's see what we can do for the patient.
Tell me what's going on.
Oh, my hair's just really greasy and it's all lifeless and it feels oily. Well, I just feel a bit embarrassed to go out with it.
And how long has this been going on for?
I don't know, like not just today, it's been going on for ages.
Have a quick look at it.
When you go through puberty, the hormone changes that your body's going through that are helping you grow up stimulate your skin to produce produce more oil. That oil's called sebum, and it can make your hair really greasy. Though, to be honest, I've never seen anyone with hair quite as greasy as Chris's.
What we need to do is wash your hair more frequently.
Can you help?
Yeah.
Great.
OK, relax your head back.
Is that nice, Chris?
Oh, it's really good. I suppose I could do this myself.
Well, you should be able to wash your own hair, really, on a regular basis.
Oh, marvellous. So, Jan, same time tomorrow?
No, this is definitely something you can do for yourself from now on.
Sorry.
If you've got greasy hair, there are lots of things you can do. There are special shampoos for greasy hair. You can actually get water-free shampoos, which for some people work very well, and you can get hair products which make your hair look less greasy. The one thing you shouldn't do is call an ambulance.
In Alderhay's emergency department, 9-year-old Oliver is waiting with his mum and dad.
Ooh, he's got lots of gory grazes.
It hurts around there, and I wish, and then my knees.
And he can't talk properly with that bust lip.
How did it happen?
Oliver's just passed his cycling proficiency test.
Well done, Oliver.
He celebrated by going on a bike ride with his dad to the park.
That's a nice day for it, Chris.
Yes.
But this all seems very pleasant. Where's this story going?
I'm about to tell you. Oliver was following his dad around the park when he hit a bump, fell off his bike and knocked his knees.
Ouch!
And hurt his hands.
Double ouch!
And he banged his bonds. Triple ouch!
Stings.
Does it?
There.
Yeah.
Best get that bruised body seen to. By nurse practitioner Sarah Jackson.
So how fast were you going on your bike?
Quite fast.
Do you have a helmet on?
Yes.
Good, that'll help.
Oliver's had a big fall, so every bit of his body needs checking. Head, neck, mouth, tummy.
We just always have to be careful with bikes because handlebars can end up in stomach sometimes.
The list is endless.
Oh.
Is that sore?
Yeah, there.
Left arm, it's sore, so he'll need an x-ray. His right side is going to need an x-ray of that. His right leg is tender on his kneecap, so he'll need an x-ray of that. His left
Crikey, Chris. It'd be quicker to mention where Oliver's not hurt.
Ooh, let's get to x-ray and make it snappy.
Nice and still. Okay, no wiggling, no giggling. Okay.
This sounds like a supermarket checkout.
Find out later if any of those banged bones are broken. Ready to see some amazing experiments?
Yes! A triumph! We're going to show you how your incredible body works.
Just don't try anything you see here at home.
Today we're looking at how we power our bodies.
Now this experiment is to show you what happens inside your body every time you eat. Right, now son, what I need you to do is take that tube, and when I give you the instruction blow, I want you to blow into it.
On blow, I go.
That's right, you go on blow. Son, why did you do that?
You said blow.
But now we have to set it all up again.
For this experiment, we're using lycopodium powder to represent food.
Okay, Xand, blowtorch on. Are you ready, Xand?
Ready?
Blow! Wow!
Whoa!
So what's going on?
The lycopodium powder has mixed with the air breathed out by Xand, been ignited by the flame, causing a chemical reaction which releases lots of energy.
Now, although there's no fire inside you, chemically this is what happens in your body when you eat. Your food is fuel, just like the lycopodium powder. It mixes with the oxygen and releases energy, which is what allows you to do all sorts of things, whether it's just breathing or running around.
But how much energy do you need? And is there such a thing as too much? Well, we're going to find out. Your body is a bit like an engine, so it needs fuel for all the things it has to do. To show you what I mean, I've rigged up a simple engine system, and I'm going to need Xand's body.
Oh, well, no problem at all, Chris. My body is ready at the service of science. For many years,
Actually, Xand, I don't need that body.
What? But you just said...
I've got mini Xand to help me.
What? You've clamped his legs? Is that a wire in the back of his head?
What is going on?
Mini Xand is hooked up to an engine system which represents what your body does with the food and drink that you consume.
I can do what he's doing.
Stop it. When you eat and drink, your body uses it to create energy. So with this engine, this hose full of water represents your food and drink. And when I squirt it onto the wheel will turn, creating energy which is sent to the light bulb on Mini Xand's head, which represents his energy levels.
Okay, so what now?
Well, we're going to see what happens when different amounts of the fuel are pumped through to Mini Xand. First, this is what happens to Mini Xand when he eats just the right amount of energy. It's a bit like if you eat a decent breakfast, lunch and dinner. So you can see we have a nice balance here. Mini Xand's light is on and everything is working perfectly. Your body takes the fuel and turns it into the right amount of energy you need for an average day.
But what about if Mini Xand has had a really busy day and he forgot to eat lunch? That does happen.
Good question, Xand. Well, let's find out. Now, I'm putting less water on the wheel and it's not spinning, so the light bulb isn't coming on.
This is not good.
Exactly. That's what happens if you don't eat enough. Your poor body has no energy to do what it needs to, and as a result, you feel tired, and it can mean your body won't be able to perform all its functions properly.
Well, that could make him ill. I think you need to give him some more fuel right now, Chris.
Yes, but I think we also need to see what happens if you eat or drink too much, like that extra chocolate biscuit I saw you eating earlier, Xand. Let's have a look.
So now there's plenty of energy to power Mini Xand and his light bulb.
But we're putting so much fuel in, it's getting fuller than it should be.
Exactly, and that's what happens when you eat more than you need to. Your body has to find something to do with all that excess fuel.
Something tells me Mini Xand is about to change.
Well, the excess fuel creates unused energy, which gets turned into fat cells. Mini Xand is becoming overweight.
Oh no! Poor Mini Xand!
So we've seen how when you drink and eat food, your body combines it with oxygen to create energy. And that energy fuels the things you do every day.
But it's important to get the balance right between what goes in and what you use. Too little and you can become underweight, too much and you can become overweight.
But unlike Mini Xand, no one becomes too thin or too fat overnight. It takes a long time to happen, so as long as you keep things balanced most of the time, your body will be happy.
And of course, if you hadn't clamped Mini Xand's legs, he'd have been able to do some exercise and he'd have been fine.
What are you doing?
I'm taking Mini Xand for a run. But first, I'm going to buy him some decent gym gear, a jazzy sports top, some good shorts, some sweatbands, a pair of decent trainers.
Xand, I thought you were kidding.